Hey y'all, Dekumon here and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. Last time we joined Hildebrand in an adventure here in the Colosseum, but unfortunately the Phantom Thief is now 3 for 3 in picking up Belladine treasures. And the fact that he's picking up Belladine treasures is a little odd. Why the heck does he want these? Anyway, it is time for the final Hildebrand adventure of A Realm Reborn. And it all starts here with the Shades of Silda.
I was wondering when you'd show up, Dekumon. I hope you haven't made any plans for the night, because we've got a situation on our hands. Remember our good friend, the Phantom Thief? Well, it seems he's decided to branch out from burglary to cold-blooded murder.
Whoa, that's a step up. How can you call yourself a Phantom Thief if you're murdering people? Oh, right, Okumura, sorry. That wasn't their fault though.
If the rumors are to be believed, he's claimed 3 victims already, all influential members of Ul'dahn society. Mr. Manyfaces has been kind enough to leave one of his signature calling cards at every scene, leaving no doubt as to the identity of the murderer. The message is always the same. The weight of 5 corpses will bring the scales of justice to balance. More riddles. Not that you'll hear me complaining. No, the only thing my readers like more than a good mystery is a good murder mystery. We're all a bunch of bloodthirsty people. Ever since the story broke, the Mithril Eye's been selling like Pond's cakes. The only rub is that it's left me no time to look into the thief's last message. Until now, that is. Shall we, Dekumon? The hidden treasures of Ul'dah, was it? If there's anyone who can shed some light on this, it's you-know-who. To Sunsilk's tapestries!
You know who? You knew who? Oh, Wymond. Good old Wymond. All right. That is not Wymond. There's Wymond. And there's Ellie.
Well now, if it isn't my favorite venturer, and my favorite Mithril Eye reporter along with him, tell me, what have I done to deserve the pleasure of your company today?
Oh, apparently my sprint wearing off.
I see. As much as I'd like to help 2 of my best mates, I'm afraid you found old Wymond at a loss.
What the hell? A whole crowd of people just ran by. Must be a race or something going on.
Ul'dah has more than its fair share of treasures, hidden and otherwise. I reckon our phantom friend could be after just about any of them. I can tell you this much though. Whatever the thief's got his eyes on, it's got the Sultan sworn in a right dither. What has it, they formed a regiment of their best and brightest to safeguard the royal vaults for this very threat. The Sultan sworn aren't like to be forthcoming with information, but it's the only lead we've got. Come on, Dekumon. I say it's time we paid a visit to the heart of the sworn.
Oi, hold up there, Ellie.
I ain't generally the worrying type, but you may want to think twice before getting yourself involved in this one. A man in my business develops a nose for danger, and this time, the stench is something fierce. You're a reporter, Ellie, and a fine one at that. Don't put that pretty neck of yours at risk trying to play hero. Your concern is touching, but I can assure you that I am ready for whatever dangers lie ahead. Besides, being a reporter is more about selling papers. I have a duty to seek out the truth and convey it to the people. Come, Dekumon, time is of the essence. And besides, I have a hit warrior of light with me. I'll be fine.
All right, Scholar's Walk. Scholar's Walk. Not sure what aetheryte that's closest to. This should be interesting to figure out. Somewhere around here. Ah, there it is. It was the Alchemist Guild was the right answer. Halt! Only authorized personnel are allowed in. Oh, bugger me with a broadsword! It's the Gentleman of Light's adventure and companion, and that catty but cute reporter from the Mithril Eye. Are you a Hildebrand fan?
Well, well, if it isn't the self-styled warrior of light.
Oh! Oh, the guy who had the fake sword. Oh, you! I didn't recognize you, Humphrey, I'm sorry.
Tell me, what tall tales did you spin to the Sultan's one recruiter to land yourself in this position?
Only the 12's honest truth, miss. Seeing that Gentleman of Light standing tall and triumphant that day, it moved me. To the depths of me soul, like, I vowed to put aside my sketchy past and serve the realm just like my hero, Master Hildebrand. The Sultan's Horn were impressed by my commitment and my sword arm, and they gladly welcomed me into their ranks. Wait, don't tell me. You've come to assist Master Hildebrand in his investigation, haven't you? Cool, why didn't you say so sooner? It's the least I could do to help the mates who united me with my role model. You'll be wanting to speak with Phyllis. She's one of the Sworn's best, and something of a history buff it seemed. When she heard the thief was targeting the 4 relics of Belladia, she personally stepped forward and volunteered to lead this investigation. If anyone has the information you're looking for, it'd be her. Wait here while I get her. I trust you not to touch anything, aye? That's a hell of a turnaround for old Humphrey there.
A pleasure to meet you, Phyllis. My name is Ellie from the Mithril Eye. As you may have heard, we're researching the Phantom Thief case and would appreciate any information that may shed light on recent events. The pleasure is mine, Miss Ellie. And if I'm not mistaken, that would make your companion friend here one Dekumon Let's Play, yes?
Uh-huh.
You know Dekumon. As any regular reader of the Mithril Eye would, I must confess to being something of an unabashed fan of your work. Though it hardly benefits my station to say this, I was secretly hoping that you would show up to assist the investigation. Doubtless the Inspector too will also welcome a helping hand.
Oh, he's already here, isn't he? Oh, you mean Bardian, okay.
The Sultan Sworn, the elite of Uldar's elite. I can only hope they prove more competent than the bungling mercenaries I've dealt with thus far. Inspector Bardian, always one step ahead of us. Miss Ellie, Dekumon, a moment if you would. Right there, very good. Now, face me, and don't move a realm. Inspector, what is that in your... Oh, God, what did you hit me with? Was that a pepper ball?
Oh, is this some sort of revealing powder to make sure we weren't phantom thieves?
Demasking dust, a formula of my own devising that will allow us to see right through the thief's disguises. Analyzing the mask left behind Vespa Bay, I was able to identify its composition and synthesize a counteragent that would dissolve the disguise whilst leaving the wearer's face intact. In any event, it would appear the two of you are indeed who you appear to be. Brilliant, Inspector! The Phantom Thieves pulled the wool over our eyes for the last time! I fear it won't be so simple. The ingredients necessary to produce the dust are exceedingly rare. Even with the entire resources of the Sultan Sworn at our disposal, we were only able to produce a limited supply. I see. Well, I suppose it's better than nothing. That said, have you been able to identify the thief's next target? A hidden treasure of Uldar, the last of the 4 lost relics of Baladia. I fear not. I've poured through the histories time and again, but the only mention of these 4 relics is a vague reference in an old prophecy. Most serious scholars consider it little more than a fairy tale. When darkness falls and hope fades to despair, 4 warriors born of light shall descend in the righteous glare. The legend goes on to describe 4 sacred artifacts, one each possessed by these 4 Belladine heroes, but makes no mention as to their appearance or nature. 3 times we have tried to identify the thief's target, and 3 times has he foiled us by making off with something else entirely. Needless speculation will only play to the fiend's strength. All artifacts of Belladine origin have been sealed within the royal vault, and a regiment of our finest assigned its protection. I have furnished all the guard with a supply of demasking dust, and instructed them to be on the lookout for any suspicious personages.
The Blackguard will be in chains before you can lay a dirty hand on the vault doors, let alone the treasures within. You have our word, my lady.
Famous last words, good sir. Famous last words.
Yeah, I don't believe that anyway. Oh, a little stuttery there on the walk, dude.
But there are even more disturbing matters at hand. Doubtless you have heard of the recent rash of murders perpetrated by our quarry. The Sultan Sworn have launched an investigation, but the truth of the matter is that we have been far too occupied with the defense of the vaults to make any meaningful progress. We would be most grateful for any assistance you could offer.
Uh-oh, here he comes. A lady asks, and a gentleman answers. It was only a matter of time. Only a matter of time. Cast all worry from your heart, my lady. Hildebrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire, has arrived to set right what is wrong and bring the wicked to justice. And this must be the demasking dust that is the talk of the palace. Ah, but you need not waste your supply on me, Inspector. I assure you that I am exactly who I claim to be. What'd you do, punch him with it?
A shame that. I was looking forward to punching you. Inspector Hildebrand, we were not expecting you, but your services are most welcome. I will share all I know about the recent murders.
Oh, are we going to be on the murder hunt while Bardian's here guarding the vault?
The killer has claimed 3 victims thus far. The head of a publishing consortium, a high-ranking government official, and an influential scholar. Other than that they were all influential figures in their respective circles, we can identify no common threads connecting the 3.
Oh-ho! This will prove a most satisfying case to crack indeed. And what of the method of killing? Conked over the head with a cudgel? Gutted with a great sword? Strangled with a subdagger, mayhap?
I'm afraid we've identified no pattern. In any event, the murderer plots the deaths of 2 more even as we speak. We must take action, and quickly.
Understood, my lady. Clues may be scarce, but worry not. My realm-renowned powers of deduction are more than up to the task. I will see this burglar-turned-butcher delivered to justice.
Your presence is heartening indeed, Inspector Hildebrand. Friends, please take this masking dust with you. I fear we can spare but a single sachet, but I trust you to put it to good use.
Yeah, doing a little stumble in there. There's a lot more lines there than I was expecting there to be. Alright, Hildy, let's see what we're up to now. Come to accompany me on yet another case, friend. I like your gusto. But if you're auditioning to be my assistant, I fear that role has already been filled most ably. Still, a gentleman welcomes the support of all his admirers. I shall henceforth name you thusly, Dekumon, my ever-loyal associate. And now, my ever-loyal associate, the investigation calls. I propose that we begin by inspecting the site at which the most recent victim met his demise. My questioning about the palace has revealed that the scholar's body was found not far from the 80 sins of Sasamo. Even the most circumspect of criminals cannot help but leave behind clues that will not elude my gaze. Friends, let us be off. Pray alert me should you see anyone suspicious, my ever-loyal associate. We must put Miss Phyllis's demasking dust to good use. Half the time, I'm probably going to be throwing it in your face, I'm sure. 80 Sins of Sasano. 80 Sins of Sasano. It's just outside town. That is Western Thanalan. Flowers? Yes, it is all becoming clear now. Our phantom killer is a florist who, in his hurry to escape, carelessly mislaid his wares.
Just who do you think you're doing? Eh? I'm the one who put those flowers there, eh? To honor the memory of me poor boy. You dare defile his memory, eh?
1,000 pardons, my lady. Please accept my most sincere condolences on your loss. I am Hildebrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire. I swear to you, on my own dear mother's name, that your son's killer will be brought to justice. Ahem. As I was just saying, these flowers were clearly placed here by the family of the deceased, which can only mean...
Leave this place! Run away while you still can! Run far, far away! Run, and he'll turn you into a zombie, just like my poor boy!
Zombie?
A living person turned into a zombie? Nonsense. Not nonsense, my boy! History! Or have you not heard of the horrors of Silda? I ruled a sibling nation against which we waged war centuries ago. Much blood was shed by both sides, but I speak of far greater horrors than death, an unholy drop brewed by a Sildon alchemist, one with the power to turn the living to the undead, that his nation might command an army of mindless, deathless soldiers, the traitors spurn. They turned my poor boy into a heap of rotten flesh and ran him through. But you won't hear that from the Sultan Spawn. They alone know why, but they whisked the body away before I could so much as pay me last respects. The trader spurn? I'd heard the stories, but I never thought them true. To be able to procure such a frightening thing. Just who are we dealing with here? A Sildon, if I'm sure of it. Only a Sildon would know the recipe. But the last remains of Silda died 4 centuries ago, you say? Oh, they did! He calls himself the Phantom Thief, he does. But did it ever occur to you that he might be an honest-to-God's phantom? Heard the tales from my own great-great-grandma, I did, about the 4 relics of Balladia and the powers they hold. The power to exact justice. The spectre Isilda has returned to wreak vengeance on us. Woe unto us, and have the 4 warriors of light forsaken us. My dear boy, if only you'd become a traitor like your father. If only you'd kept your nose out of those history books and never so much breathed the accursed name Isilda. But you did, and now we're doomed. Doomed! I might be a little crazy. Excuse me.
No, definitely crazy. Oh, Hildy's going for his thinking pose. Hello? That bleeding whoreson's here somewhere. I can feel it in me follicles. The most potent hair tonic the realm has seen? Aye, that it was. For all of a fortnight before my flower and locks fell out all over again. And just as I was chatting up a lovely young lass at the quicksand, just to twist the knife an extra ilm. Mountebank, charlatan, I'll find that so-called inspector and his sorry band, and pull every last strand of hair from their bleeding skulls. This is the guy with the hair. Oh my goodness. Well, I could have warned you, dude. It's what happens when you use it all at once. You're supposed to take it easy with that stuff. You know, pace yourself. Anyway, now it seems we have an extra person chasing us. Lovely. Sibling strife. It's all becoming clear to me now. That dear old woman's testimony has confirmed that which I suspected from the start. How did you? Like a zombie picking away at its rotting flesh, Hildebrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire, has peeled away the foul scab of uncertainty to reveal the truth within. Open your ears and feast your minds on the fruits of my flawless deduction. A phantom thief is a phantom indeed, a wayward spirit caught between the realm of the living and dead for nigh on centuries since meeting a tragic end on the battlefield. As such, our course of action is clear. We must placate this tortured soul, that it might abandon its vengeful vendetta and travel to the next life in peace. But what is the true nature of this spectre's grievances? Without this knowledge, we cannot hope to assuage its rancor. Let us begin our search at the Thaumaturgist Guild. Doubtless the tomes that contain a wealth of knowledge on the ill blood between the sibling nations. Notwithstanding the abject stupidity of everything else that has come out of your mouth, some knowledge of Sildar might serve us well. Go research as you will, and do take as much time as you need, please. You can count on me, Inspector Bardian. Whatever knowledge is to be gleaned at the guild, it shall not escape my inspector's eye. That voice is tiring. Anyway, Thaumaturgist Guild, ho. This is going to be a fruitless search, I'm pretty sure. Greetings, traveler. You would learn of the war between Uldar and the fallen Sultanate of Silda. It would be my pleasure to enlighten you. The two city-states coexisted for several generations until the bad blood between them boiled over, culminating in outright war. As you might deduce from the present state of affairs, Uldar emerged victorious, leaving its once proud sibling nation in smoldering ruins. As the histories tell it, the battles fought between the sister nations were the stuff of nightmares. In a desperate attempt to overcome Uldar's superior numbers, Sildan alchemists devised a most horrific stratagem. Employing a frightful formula known as the Traitor's Spurn, they brought their fallen warriors back as undead soldiers. Some theories have it that they even employed the potion on those of the living who were too weak or wounded to fight. Sends shivers up the spine just thinking about it, no? Is it truly a crowning glory of our fair nation that our forebears were able to emerge victorious against these horrors? Is the question though, is that just hearsay or is that actual history? Where's the rest of these that I need to find? Oh, there's one out front here. Like an idiot, I completely passed it. Can't believe I passed this guy right off the bat. You don't say. It's not every day someone comes to our halls to research Silda. As a fellow student of history, though, I more than welcome the conversation. Belladine civilization flourished in relative peace until twin sons were born to the royal family. The two were fierce rivals, and when they came of age and their father passed, each one claimed that he was the rightful heir to the throne. Of course they did. With neither son willing to relinquish his claim, they agreed to split their kingdom in two. forming the twin nations of Ul'dah and Sil'dah. But not unlike the two proud princes, the sibling nations developed a penchant for rivalry. Lovely! Absolutely lovely. The Guildmaster's got some info for us.
What's that you say? You seek knowledge of the bad blood between Ul'dah and Sil'dah. I suppose I could spare a moment or two, but take good notes. I'm not fond of repeating myself. 2 scales, one of gold and one of silver. The gold of Ul'dah, weighing prosperity and power. The silver of Sil'dah, weighing knowledge and power. But the power sought by the 2 nations differed greatly. Yes, greatly indeed. The power wrought by Ul'dah in prosperity was that of justice and good, while the power brought by Sil'dah knowledge was horrific beyond belief. The power to rip the living soul out of a man and render him a mindless killing machine. On this matter, the histories are clear. But riddle me this, my friend. Who writes the histories, and what does this say of the words writ within? Yes, truth can be elusive and fickle as the shifting sands. As one example, did you know that in the war against Sil'dah, Ul'dah and Amalja warriors fight side by side? Likely you did not, and neither did I until I encountered a faded passage in an ancient text buried deep in our archives. And yet, in the histories read by the populace, you will see no mention of this most fascinating fact. Might it be that someone, at some time, deemed this particular truth less than convenient? But I have said enough already.
Huh. They actually fought with the lizard men. That is unusual.
Gods be good! You're the adventurer who saved me back at the ruins! Researching the ancient feud between Ul'dah and Sil'dah, are you? Why, I'm pleased to say I have more than a passing familiarity with ancient history. To understand the history of the sibling nations, one must go back further still, to the birth of their mother nation, Belladia. The 5th Astral Era was an age of untold wonders, when the arcane arts burgeoned and the great civilizations that commanded such powers flourished. This age of enlightenment would not last, however. Power bred avarice, and avarice bred resentment. It culminated in the War of the Magi, which brought the great floods of the Sixth Umbral Calamity, which in turn swallowed once proud nations and left a battered wasteland in its wake. Mages were reviled and persecuted for having caused this catastrophe, with many forced to leave their homelands or face death. It was a small band of those survivors that found their way to Thanalan, where they would found the nation of Belladia some 8 centuries ago. Ah, imagine! A government of mages, by mages, and for mages. What wonders might have been wrought had Belladian civilization survived to this very day? Alas, this was not meant to be.
Wow. So Belladia was formed by mages? Huh. I honestly don't remember that. My ever-loyal associate! Tell me, what have you learned from your questioning of the scholars in these halls? Well, I got a lot of information, but nothing exceptionally useful. Indeed. As it happens, I have learned much the same. Let us take a moment to review, and allow my peerless powers of deduction to work their magic. A war of succession divides the great civilization of Belladia, giving rise to the sibling nations of Ul'dah and Sil'dah. The 2 nations coexist for some generations, until the ill blood boils over, culminating in outright war. Daunted by Ul'dah's superior military might, Sil'dah employs their advanced alchemical knowledge for 2 horrific ends, transforming their own citizens, alive and dead, into a fearsome undead legion. Yes, I believe I have it! The facts at hand have led me to one unassailable conclusion. Our phantom thief is a descendant of doomed Sil'dah, who seeks vengeance against those who reduced his countrymen to slavering zombies. To pacify his soul and send him peacefully to the next world, there is but one course of action. We must find the Sil'dan statesman who conceived this dreadful stratagem, and have him apologize to the thief in person for the suffering he has wrought. No. For one thing, the dude is probably long dead. And second, that is probably the stupidest thing you have said in the entire time we've been hanging out together, Hildebrand. Please, yeah, thank you, Barty, and please show up and smack him for good measure for that one.
A brilliant plan. Perhaps you'd like to go find yourself a shovel and dig this statesman out of his grave yourself.
Thank you for pointing that out.
Leaving aside this nonsense of spirits and specters, It appears increasingly likely that our quarry shares some link to Silda. His garish garb is no doubt meant to evoke the silver scales of his fallen sultanate. This Sildan connection would also serve to explain the rare knowledge of Baladin relics our thief clearly possesses. But what of the murder victims? What common thread among them could have incurred the ire of our adversary? A few people in town spoke of a man sighted calling upon the victims in the past days. Those who saw him said he had a most frightened air about him.
Wait. Yes, it's coming to me. Of course. My keen investigator senses ring out with a voice loud and clear. This man Miss Ellie speaks of just might know something.
You really should stop thinking so hard. You'll like to strain a brain muscle. Miss Ellie, who is this man, and where might we find him? My sources identified the man as... How do I even pronounce this? Gugaraya? We'll go with Gugaraya, I suppose. A traveling merchant known to frequent Horizon. Shall we pay him a visit?
Gugaraya. Wow, that's terrible. That is a terrible, terrible name to fit anybody with. Alright, Horizon. I swear I've seen you before.
Yes? You've got business, make it quick. My time's too valuable to waste chatting with every stranger who passes by. Forgive us, good sir. My name is Ellie, a reporter with the Mithril Eye. Never blinking or seeing, you know the rest. I was wondering if we could have trouble you with just a few questions.
Was it for love or money that you killed them? Yes, you, the thief of many faces. At half the normal height.
Me? A thief? What is this nonsense? I don't know who you are, but I ain't got the time or the patience for this mummery. Now, if you'll excuse me, an important client awaits.
I thought I recognized that voice. Oh. Oh, you. Lady Dorilda. Well met indeed. Pray tell, whatever brings you to these environs this fair morning?
Why, I live here, you ham-hasted half-wit! Inspector Bardian, this is an unexpected pleasure. Do you have some business with my associate here, pray tell? Gugaraya, we can discuss business after. Pray, lend the inspector here, the handsome one, whatever assistance he requires. But Lady Dorilda, what about... Ah, yes, my dear Maria's name day present. I had in mind one of the prized pieces from Estahim's latest seasonal collection. You would be able to procure one for me, yes? Or shall I eliminate the middleman and make the trip to Uldar myself?
She's still kind of a bitch.
I'll say it just once more, Gugaraya. I expect you to give the inspector and his companions your full assistance. They, yes, even the stupid one, helped me regain something truly priceless. Yes, something more valuable than any mere trinket.
The fact that you made up with your daughter still amazes me. Hildebrand, seriously.
All right, I'll tell you what I know. But you didn't hear it from me, got it? I was looking into the killing on behalf of a client of mine. The thief's got himself some of that zombie dust. The traitor's sperm, was it? And his cards speak of 5 victims. It got me thinking. Silda, 5 victims. Aye, the Arbiters of Truth. The Arbiters of Truth? I'm not familiar with that name. Aye, if you would be, on account of them being something of a secret society and all. Influential personages of the Sultanate, you see, working from the shadows to keep false knowledge about the Ulda-Silda conflict from reaching the ears of folks like you and me.
False knowledge? Pray tell, just what sort of knowledge might that be?
Those balls don't make me say no more. I've got a family to feed. This is the Illuminati we're talking about here. Very well. Just tell us one last thing. Who hired you, and where can we find them? Hob. His name's Hob. When he heard what I said, he told me that he was going to set sail for Limsa with his 5 best sill swords to guard his back. Said there were many prying eyes at the airship docks. Said he had a private ship docked and waiting for him at Vesper Bay. But remember, you didn't hear none of this from me. This man Hob must be one of the killer's targets. Doubtless he also knows the identity of the remaining one. I doubt that. They say the Arbiters are so secretive, they don't even know each other's true identities. Don't ask me how all that works, but Hob's got high-ranking friends in the Brass Blades. Once he heard the victims had been all zombified, he panicked. Guess he knew that he'd be next.
Thank you very much, my kind sir. Once again, the ancient Mandeville art of parley has procured for us a key morsel of knowledge. Dude, you didn't do anything. Let us seek out this Hob fellow and see what he can share with us. And let us hurry. The man's life is in danger even as we speak. Hildebrand, you are exasperating, but you do have the right of it. All right, Vesper Bay is actually back where the old base for the freaking Scions was. Thank you. Oh, that's not a good sign. What the hell happened here? Uh-oh. Are we too late?
Master Hob, is everything quite all right? No, stand back, Ellie. Hunger. I hunger for your brains. Damn, there's no saving the man. Dekumon, do what you must. Stick it with the pointy end.
Wow, I didn't even get an actual fight. It's just, this guy is so pathetic. They're just gonna cutscene him away. Yes, my first-hand knowledge of zombies tells me this particular shade of green is unmistakably that of the undead. What, in his hunger for brains didn't? 'Twould seem we were a few moments late to the scene.
A message, and then there was one.
Oh. Hello again, Danganronpa Blackened. There it is again.
Is something the matter, Inspector?
Indeed, Nashu, there is. Ever since I picked up the trail of the Phantom Thief, I've had this fleeting sense. A sense that someone, or something, is watching us.
The thief might be close at hand. We should be careful. For the moment, let us return and report our findings to Miss Felicity. Secret society or no, knowing the identities of its members may yet lead us to the final victim.
I was not expecting this to be a murder mystery.
I too had best return to the Mithril Eye. Let's meet up again after. I'll see what new clues I can uncover in the meantime. You will do nothing of the sort, Miss Ellie. These streets are far too dangerous for you to walk alone. Inspector! Inspector! I'll go with her!
If you insist, Nashu, then I give my leave. But pray be wary, not just of the thief, but of Miss Ellie. She has quite the temper, as we both know. Yeah, she's gonna give you a tell-it-off. Yes?
Miss Ellie, there is something I must tell you when this case is over. Be safe and promise me that you will not attempt anything rash, as you did that time when the Buffine took aim at my own life. Your life, Custard of Soul! Yes, that was quite the ordeal, wasn't it?
And Hildy and Nashi both look away like, oh, right.
I'll be careful, I promise. I eagerly await the day when I may hear what it is you would share with me.
A secret vow! Oh ho! Consider my interest piqued as well, good Inspector. Now, let us be off. Miss Felicity awaits our report.
I had no intention of telling you.
Alright guys, I'm gonna leave this here for now. I know this isn't quite as long as I wanted it to be, but again, it's still the middle of the heat wave and it makes recording really unbearable, so I'm trying to keep these at a reasonable length. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this, please leave a like and favorite, comment if you feel like it, and subscribe to join me because we've got a murder mystery on Hildebrand's hands. So until then, see you guys in the next video.